So this is the proposals for VIC's development. Attempt at amending the strategic urban project approach. Based on the above analysis, the strategic urban project approach can be adapted to suit the purpose of organizing the sustainable redevelopment of VIC. And however, the three key stakeholder, the model of three key stakeholder of this approach, like the state, the market, and civil society, actually are not suitable to the Chinese context. And society could be a more suitable term instead of civil society to indicate institution of the third realm, formal, informal sectors, and households. Visions at different scale levels are required for the integration of key stakeholder and different actions. The mediating role of state and specific actions are also should be emphasized. So the partnership between the state, the market, and society, and this is required vertical and horizontal cooperation. And for example, the partnership of the central government, the provincial government, and the municipal government are required in providing a public facility for migrants. And partnership of the collective organization and the city government are required for the integration of VIC self-development and urban development. Household and the informal sector also should be considered as a key stakeholder. A clear vision and integrated strategic at the city level is required to specify the role of VIC in the functioning of urban areas. The stakeholder could be the central, municipal, district governments, collectives, companies, and formal, informal sectors. Visions at the district level is embedded in the vision in the city level. And a long-term perspective at the VIC is required for the long-term development of VIC. And it should emphasize the effective regulation of the effective planning regulation and the integration of different actions in the VIC. And the stakeholder could be the multi-level governments, collective organization, formal and informal sectors, and households. There are many actions are defined in the VIC level. The first one is that the reuse of collective project sites. The property right could be considered as an asset for the development because there are a value gap between collective land and the urban land. The urban land can be sold in the market, so they have high value, but the collective land normally they cannot sell in the market. So the change of between them can the value created can for the development project. And the reuse of the collective project sites is also opportunities for the economic restructure in the VIC and the city level. And the partnership in providing a public facility and space should be emphasized in this action. The second action is the incrementally upgrading of infrastructure. Incremental upgrading is an important strategy of informal settlement upgrading. And for example, in the VIC case, the village Melo could be identified first and improve it firstly, because they actually are strategic location that to deal with opportunity like the informal economic activities and also the economic that connect with urban areas, and dealing with problems like the poor infrastructure. And the agreements between multi-governments, the collective organization, formal and informal sector, and household on infrastructure provision, economic development, and the transfer of property rights is very important. The third action is adapting housing block. The aim of this action is to reduce the density of the existing housing block, create more open space and public facilities. Some specific action like the removing some rows of housing for parking place, garden and activity space, adding the roof gardens and the changing law of villages. Agreements between multi-level governments, the collective organization, formal and informal sector, and household on the transfer of property rights and the annual increase of house rent is very important. So the conclusion is that the methodology of the strategic urban project approach could be adapted to suit the purpose of organizing the sustainable development of VIC. Rather than civil society, society could be a more suitable term to indicate space beyond the direct intervention of the state in VIC. The role of the state in redistribution should be emphasized. The informal sector and household are considered as important stakeholders. Regions at different scale levels are platforms for the co-production of key stakeholder and the integration of specific actions. Partnership of state, market, and society could lead to a balance between three modes of economic integration. So that's all. Thank you.